She stood there, cold, hungry, broke, and whispered to the tall man beside her, "I'm sorry. I can't pay." She didn't know the man had more power than she could ever imagine, or that one sentence would change her entire life. The train station was loud, busy, and cold. Arielle, just 19 years old, stood in the middle of the crowd with a single backpack and a shaking heart. Her shoes were soaked, her hoodie was thin, and her last dollar had just been rejected at the ticket booth. She was trying to get out of the city, away from the house where she never felt safe, away from memories that haunted her every night. All she had left was a small hope, her aunt in Cleveland, who might take her in. But even that felt distant now. She clutched her money tightly. It wasn't enough. She counted again. Still not enough. People passed by without noticing her. Another face in the crowd, another struggling girl. But Arielle wasn't just struggling. She was running out of options. With a dry throat and hesitant steps, she walked up to a tall man standing nearby. He looked older, late 50s, maybe. Clean coat, kind eyes, expensive shoes. Definitely not the kind of person she'd usually talk to. She took a breath, heart racing, and whispered, "I'm sorry. I can't pay." He turned, surprised. "What do you mean?" "I need a ticket," she said quietly, "but I'm short." I'm not asking you to buy it. I just don't know what to do. Can you tell me if there's a cheaper route, or a bus, or something?" There was a pause, long enough to make her want to run away, but then he nodded slowly. "Where are you trying to go?" "Cleveland. To my aunt. She said she might help me." His gaze softened. He didn't ask too many questions. He just said, "Come with me." Arielle hesitated. Was this a trap? Was she making a mistake? But something about his voice made her feel, oddly, safe. They walked to the ticket counter. He pulled out a black leather wallet and paid for not one, but two first-class tickets. Without a word, Arielle stood frozen. Why would you do that?" He simply said, "Because I can." The ride was long and quiet at first, but eventually, she began to talk. About her mom, who died when she was 14. About her stepfather, who used to lock the fridge and scream at her over things she didn't do. About the night she packed her bag and left while he was passed out drunk. About the dreams she once had of becoming a nurse, and how the world slowly erased them. The man listened, never interrupting. At one point, he handed her a wrapped sandwich and a bottle of water from his bag. She nearly cried. "You remind me of someone," he said softly. "My daughter. She died 5 years ago in a car crash." Arielle lowered her eyes. "I'm sorry." He smiled faintly. "You have nothing to be sorry for." When they reached Cleveland, Arielle stood up, ready to thank him and disappear, but he stopped her. "I have a place set up for you," he said. "Just for a night. A hotel. And a woman named Miss Carter will meet you in the morning. If you want work, I can offer that. Nothing crazy, just part-time, helping at our youth center. You'd be good at it." Arielle's mouth opened, but no words came out. "I'm not trying to own you," he added gently. "No strings. Just a chance. If you want it." That night in the hotel, Arielle cried harder than she had in years, not because she was afraid, but because, for the first time in a long time, someone saw her, helped her, and expected nothing in return. She met Miss Carter the next morning, started work the next week. She helped at the youth center, cleaned classrooms, ran errands, and, slowly, the girl who once whispered, "I can't pay," started believing that she could do more. She enrolled in night classes, saved her money, found an apartment. Her aunt eventually called her back, but by then, Arielle had started building a life of her own. Months later, a journalist came to do a feature on the anonymous donor behind dozens of community programs. The man had never wanted the spotlight, but this time, he agreed to speak. When asked why he gave so much, he didn't talk about money. He simply said, "Once, a girl whispered to me, 'I'm sorry. I can't pay.' That whisper broke my heart. And I knew in that moment, I'd do anything to make sure she never had to say those words again." That stranger at the train station? His name was Malcolm Delaney, billionaire investor, philanthropist, and the man who saved Arielle's life, not with money, but with kindness. And Arielle? She now runs the same youth center he first placed her in. Every time a struggling teen walks through the door, she remembers where she came from and how one moment of courage, one whispered sentence, changed her life forever.